Hello, everybody, and welcome to City States of Klovisa, _: dash, the God War. How are you doing today? Oh my god.
Hello, hello.
John didn't show up, so I lost my drinking buddy.
I'm sorry. I'd drink with you if I wasn't a massive alcoholic and afraid of relapsing. But now that we're done with opening jokes... This one's gonna be a rough one, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Eric, how was your week?
Week was fine. Boring. I have a Renaissance fair this weekend, though, so that's exciting.
Oh my god, take pictures, son. Orion, how about you?
Doing great. Nothing's happening. I'm sad. So everything's alright.
Okay. Everything's alright because you're sad, or you're sad because everything's alright?
No right answer to that question.
Yeah, there's no right answer, so I'm just going to say,
I plead the fifth.
yeah.
Not committing to a position fully without thinking of the... Unbelievable. Draco, how are you, bud?
Bored to kingdom fuck.
You're bored to kingdom fuck.
Yes.
Damn. That's... Whoa! Okay.
Careful there.
I think my chair almost just broke. I'm not gonna lean into this fucking thing anymore. Alright. Well, I was gonna do a snide comment about grammar, but we're gonna skip that since actual Juicy Jesus does not want me to. Who wants to give the recap? Alright, there's 3 of you. Do I need to play eeny, meeny, miny, mo? What the fuck?
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah, Draco, you missed 50 sessions.
Last week was my first session for this group. Why not?
I mean, you're only recapping the one session, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm recapping the entire series.
You have 50 words. Go.
That's the rule, right?
Go, do it. 50 words.
Shit got fucked. There we go.
Can you do a little bit better than that?
For real though, last session the rest of the Discovery team brought the temple over to Alcazan, where it was stopped, and I was forced into the party. After a bit of talk, the party returns to Tolst. Yugu has discovered surprise racism, and the party went about talking to a couple different people.
Orion, what are we at?
73.
Alright, we're done. Ah!
I don't count when I do words.
Well, Orion sure as shit does.
Like 5 of them,
I'm under the school rule where you have to fill out your sentences.
No, that's the lame rules.
I know it is, but it's ingrained
also
into me.
Runt got lucky.
Runt got lucky. Is that really the highest point? Is that all we have to celebrate? That Runt
Yes.
managed to woo the lovely maiden Irithil, who is not a BDSM mistress. Okay. Well, guys, when you whip together, you live forever. And Runt's gonna live forever tonight. Rest in peace, my brave boy. Okay.
He's either going to come back with a smashed pelvis, or
No.
be perfectly fine.
Enough. We're not children. We're not 14 years old. Alright. It's October 1st. A night has gone by since you guys, disembarked Randy and then got off a plane, an airship into Tolst. Once gone, Yugu is nowhere to be found. Who knows where Yugu is? Just leaving you three. A wizard, a monk, and a hexblade warlock.
Sounds like a weird joke. The start of a weird joke.
True. Nav, as the most senior person of this team, they look to you for leadership.
Oh yeah, this was. What the fuck? Hold on.
Fine time.
It's a
Oh,
fucking
Matt
great.
has vanished into the void.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but the cables on the backside of my computer like exploded out, and they forced the back panel of my computer to pop off.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but it's still working, so we're not gonna question it until later tonight.
Okay.
I feel like if it wasn't working, you wouldn't be here to be telling us.
Exactly. Alright, we need information on Ugarest? No, that's not right. Is
You
it
guys want news? Maybe we should start with news.
Yeah, we'll start with news.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yesterday was the Super MMA tournament. Not really a tournament, more like a spectacle show that happens annually. For those who are giant nerds, the people who go and spectate this stuff were astounded. It was going to be, the Solar Flare versus the Will-O-Wisp. These two ancient heroes who have been in the ring for 50 plus years, basically made Super MMA entertainment. They were doing their final climactic battle when it was interrupted by none other than the Herald herself. You remember her, briefly. Nav fought her, Runt fought her. No one else was here, including Yugu. Even if Yugu was here, he didn't fight her. So just Nav appeared. Made some demands that were telepathic in nature, so no one is 100% confirmed what she's saying. Toll sources are calling it a declaration of basically enslavement, where it's like, hey, do what we say and we won't turn our eye towards you while we go murder people in Tolst. Maybe a little politically slanted, but you know, who's against propaganda right now? Let's be honest, guys. Let me pull up.
And that was that in the Forge of Alvin? Or
That
was
was
somewhere
in the
else?
Forge of Alvin, yes. And after making this declaration, the self-defense system sort of kicked in that city. Revealed a 30-foot tall giant metal humanoid who grabbed her bitch ass and threw her into the sea. There was an unseen combat for around, like half a minute before she was yeeted out of the ocean into the sky away from the city, where she teleported away like the coward she was. The next day, which is today, news is now breaking across what's left of the Confederation. Do you guys want the full speech? I don't need to give it to you. Or do you just want the cliff notes?
We need to
Cliff
pad
notes?
this episode. Give us the full speech.
Yeah, full speech.
Yeah,
You want the
speech it
full
is.
speech. Alright.
Making John do all the work.
Nothing new. They're selfish lovers.
Yeah. No lie.
The Overlord of the Forge of Alvin has made the following public declaration. This was in front of a press conference that was very short-lived. If people are paying attention to like their peripheries, they might notice some people in the background, but other than that, no big deal. Ahem. Any and all entities with hostile intent towards us shall be resisted and defeated. Regardless of extraterrestrial origin, any who step up will get beat down. The Forge of Alvin has been independent since its origination and will remain so until the end of its days. Additionally, to alleviate the reliance of natural gas-based engines, we shall be beginning to transition to more sustainable fuel sources. We will not be intimidated by any group, organization, or nation-state that is building up arms, nor be bound by economic or social restrictions they bear against us. As of today, we shall return to the policies that were temporarily dismissed by Overlord Kale Iron Fist Garjet to found the Confederation. As of today, I am initializing Article 11 of the Confederation Charter. The Forge of Alvin shall dismiss the negotiated boundaries that the defunct state of Cancelar imposed on us for our national cooperation. All dignitaries from other states have 3 weeks to leave the borders of the Forge of Alvin or obtain new diplomatic permissions from their governments, as well as acceptance from the Congress of Delegates. That is all. And then she left. She literally rode her elevator up to her stronghold and has more or less declared that the Confederation of Klovisa no longer exists.
Also, what, she implied she was going to start taking over the land that Cantelar left behind?
No. She never made threats of colonization or anything like that.
Yeah, but come on.
It seems like she's looking for new, because as we spoke about briefly last session, or maybe the session before that, natural gas reserves are kind of all dried up. It took you basically most, if not all, of your money to get to Toraturv, and then you had to find a sea turtle to get you to Mokapuni. Right. Or, you know,
I think that was mentioned in both sessions.
Perfect. Either way, natural gas prices are, well, rising because the supply is getting, well, more limited. Cancelar isn't producing anything because Cancelar is a crater. It's been 2 or 3 years? No, 2 years. They blew up in 78. All of the other states are looking for alternative methods. Big Stinky was never reliant on natural gas. They had oil-based engines. Maelstrom uses magic. The City of Blinding Lights, they imported a lot, but they're gone now. Navator's Arsenal has weird magical shit. City of Pumpkins, no one goes there unless you are planning to die there. Tulst had a lot, but the city itself never had a big fleet. It was more of an economic bargain they bought on. Thorazor is mostly coal and steam powered. Alcazan was heavily naturally gas dependent, and is now going to be struggling for a while. But everyone has their own motivations to help out Alcazan. Destry is gone. It didn't even have an air fleet until last year. And the northern quadrant of the continent is kind of too far away, like, to reach anyone at this point. So, there is merit into what the Overlord has stated. Maybe she will go into Cantelar. Only time will tell. Or maybe she has some other sort of resource that can power airships. Yeah. So.
So the Confederation is no longer around. Does that mean all alliances under the Confederation is like dissolved as well?
So she did not. She declares that the Confederation is dissolved, but she does not have the authority to dissolve it. Technically, Alcazan, Thorazor, and Tulst are still within the Confederation of Klovisa, but her move, the Article 11, is basically at any point, any one of the city-states can back out of the Confederation. Under penalty, but now no one's here to penalize them, so. Yeah. I mean, she's legally just withdrawing the shield of civilization, or the shield of the Confederation, from the Confederation. it's basically just Tolst, Thorazor, and Alkazan right now. And they're split off
This
from
isn't a
Maelstrom.
very strong alliance.
Yeah. What are some thoughts on this geopolitical debacle? Nav, you're from the other side of a continent. Do you even care?
Care might be a strong word.
Fair.
Not in like a, I mean, not really in like a personal sense, but like, it matters to the average day man, and it will likely matter to us at some point because we are part of we're not part of the political team, but we are a specialist force that is involved in macro political matters in some way, be it like we just need to cross lines or whatever. So this will probably come back to us at some point in time.
Yeah.
It also just strikes him as somewhat of a selfish move. Maybe understandable, but still somewhat selfish.
Yeah.
When we're trying to unify in a time when we need to be unified to fight an existential threat. And they're just kind of like, we just needed the angel, I'm sure we're fine.
Yeah. A thing to just note, the Confederation has been around for 80 years. This is...
Really? So it hasn't even been around that long?
No. It's only been around for 80 years. You are on the 80th calendar year of the Confederation's formation. This is a brand new experiment that... It's hard to imagine because... I mean, in our own lives, it's hard to imagine a world before us, but 80 years ago, Tol stood alone. Alkazan was like days away through spirit beast infested forests that hunters, specialized murderers, would go out and destroy. Airships weren't that common. Some people had the technology and showed up. Big Stinky being one of the like true exploration dudes, like explorators, who just went out to go see the world. Cancelar was founded, made their own tech, and sort of, I mean, pushed for a like a united state between all the city-states.
That information puts it in a different light, because now it's framed like, oh, the Forge never the Forge never wanted to be part of the Confederation. They were just forced into it, either by like an economical situation or whatever. So now this is really just like, okay, we've done our due diligence on the surface. Now everybody else can go fuck themselves. We never wanted to be a part of this.
I mean, true, but also 3/4 of the current generations that are living currently under this, as much as people hate to admit it, the Confederation was a success economically and culturally. For thousands of years, there had never been a time where someone could move from Tolst to Big Stinky. That just wasn't possible. But Cancelar changed it. The the Forge of Alvin at the time backed them militarily and economically. And we're now looking at a world that is getting smaller and smaller as the days pass. Mirth, who is from the Forge of Alvin, your government leader has just stated that everyone outside of their city needs to get out and reestablish, like, diplomacy on a private, like, individual level.
Yeah.
What's that
that's
like?
Big. As someone who switched from one city state to another, taking for granted the kind of expansion of, like, transportation that the Confederacy kind of employed, having now, like, strict cutoff point of, like, now that's no longer applicable. Like, I'm no longer fighting for my homeland. because Homeland is trying to shrink back into their own turtle shell again.
Mm-hmm.
Something that Earth itself doesn't really appreciate, because he wasn't around when defense was the only option. Now that offense and like transportation was the new thing, Mirth kind of thought, "Oh, now the whole world is our oyster. Let's show the greatness of us as a people, as a community, and now the whole city is now in lockdown, pretty much. And, like, what's up with that?" Mirth is kind of disappointed in his own government.
Well, it's understandable. Undoubtedly, this feeling will be shared amongst the populace. A lot of people had a lot of economic investment outside of the Forge of Alvin. A lot of, I don't want to call them political elite, but economic elite sure are going to be like raising hell over this. But the Overlord has laws and rights that are invested into her, and she has acted upon them, for better or worse.
Especially with the destruction of the City of Blind Lights, the kind of the rise of the problem that originated in Destry,
Yep.
and everything going on, like, more threat has been growing in a more national sense than a city-state sense. And maybe a single defense is not going to be enough, or at least Mirth is kind of afraid of that, the worst coming to fruition.
True. Zane, you're from Alcazan. Nothing has changed in terms of your country. They are still currently subservient to Tolst as a vassal state. Which, you know, that alone just sucks to say. Like, oh yeah, my birthplace and homeland is subservient to another, but hey, at least they don't treat us badly. Like, that's not real freedom, right? Alcazan still makes the Confederation's massive bulk of food, which is now just kind of being stored because no one can reach them to buy it in bulk. What's going through Zane's mind?
Zane isn't quite sure what to think. Because, like, being locked in a room for several months with no outside contact. Like, he was never aware of the political climate, as it were.
Yeah.
Like, he also had to like, revoke his citizenship to Alcazan, so that way he could even do anything in Maelstrom.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You were committed to
Yeah.
Maelstrom, huh? Huh.
Yeah,
Man!
yeah, Zane has no idea what went down with Maelstrom.
Well, for better or worse, you're tied to Tulsa now. And honestly,
Yeah.
if Maelstrom can't enforce their will upon you, aren't you a free man? Could Zane walk away right now? Just retire if he wanted to? Just be like, look, guys.
Maybe? Not that he would, he has nothing to retire to.
True. You're fighting for your future, Zane.
Zane's trying to figure out what his future will be at this point, because, like, his family in Alcazan is probably dead because they don't know how to handle themselves.
Maybe.
Like, he was the only functional person in his family left.
The personal matter, then.
Yeah.
Zane, maybe you
It's
should, like, take a week and just go to Alcazan and see if, like, your family's alive.
Yeah, that's probably what he's gonna do. Before he does that, though, he will seek out someone like Ozark or someone to, like, just get him properly kitted up for whatever comes next. Because
Why don't we
Zane is...
jump into our first scene, then?
Zane's just sitting here with level 1 wizard gear.
He's just hanging out in sweaty clothes, salt-stained, looking at Nav, who's reading a newspaper, Mirth, who's hovering over his shoulder, and Zane across eating in the cafeteria, where people are chatting, doing their morning rituals, getting served a lot of carbs and sugar. The three of you look at one another.
So, are we going to plan for our future or talk about the shit show that our present is?
I will be honest right now, I would rather not think about the politics of it too much.
One disaster at a time, right?
Yes, yes. Let alone my learning of what has mostly been happening to the world while I've been secluded away. A very big shock to the system, as it were. First piece of political news I get is that one of the biggest members of the Confederacy is retracting.
And it doesn't seem to be good for our future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Regardless, we have some things we can learn more about. Seem to remember something about a battlefield. Or was that out of character after the session?
Battlefield?
Yeah, like something about being sent to scout out a battlefield or something in the future. Oh,
He's talking about Eucharist.
Oh,
yeah, Eucharist.
okay. That's not a battle yet. But, Nav, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna, as, Zane is saying, or Draco, excuse me. Draco or Zane?
Zane is the
Zane.
elf. Draco is
Zane
the
is the
man.
character.
Okay, yes. As Zane is saying all this stuff, yeah, Nav is gonna be like, you know, that can't be easy news to, come out of hibernation to, if you will. Is there anything I can do to help acclimate? I'm not the most news savvy guy, but you know.
I think I just need some time to sit on it. For all, it didn't take too horribly long for me to get acclimated to the sudden change of teleporting from Alcazan to Maelstrom.
Okay, well, you know. If you feel the need to have a sudden breakdown, just like let us know and I can, you know. I'm sure me and Mirth can go somewhere while you like have a
Yeah,
moment.
definitely.
Can you just warn me before you break into tears so I can leave in advance?
Who knows? Give it give it some time. If we head back to my hometown and things are wildly different there, but ultimately what I'm expecting might happen. Who knows?
Yeah.
Great. Well, you know, if that's what you want to do, let us know. I feel like we can make time. But in the meantime, how do we want to go about? I would
Approaching
like
Grist.
to. I would like to go see one of a Tolstian like supervisor or something, um, or a map maker. Anybody who might have a map of Ugarist. If we can get a little more information about the topology of the place,
That would be useful, yes.
or even a map of the city, might be good too.
Maybe the Maelstrom delegates would have one. They've been there for so long.
Yeah, that's a long ass trek though, and
Well,
we don't
no, I
have
mean
any
like
money.
our Tolst delegates that are here. Tolstian Maelstrom delegates.
Well, yeah, but if we're here, we could just go to our Tulsa people that have been in the area or scouted
That's
the
true.
area.
Yeah. Yeah, our strategists and our military advisors.
Yes.
We are part of the military after all.
Yes.
You look around the cafeteria that's like split between a bunch of hunter children, like teenagers, going to the equivalent of like high school, basically. And then you look at all the military people who are all separated, like these 30 plus year olds who are all super magical. Fucking Sergeant Slaughter is just yelling at people who are like harassing him at breakfast. Mirth, is this a real military? Or are you guys the fucking weirdos who are just hanging out with kids?
And I've heard of worse militaries.
We're military. We're military. We're military. We're not a playground. We're not a playground.
Speaking a
We're
mantra
military.
to himself.
A positive reinforcement mantra. That is.
I've never seen someone have to convince themselves so hard that we are in fact in the military.
Nav! Call the
Ah,
shot.
well, John, I assume we know of some official Tolstian military channels with which we could get information about our future objective.
Yeah, who would those be?
If you want a named character, then like, I mean, the tyrant's doing shit, and he has underlings to hand out basic information.
Mm-hmm.
Ozark?
Yeah,
Mm.
that would be my first guess. We could try and find Shade.
Shade pops into your periphery as soon as you say it. His name.
Zane is confused on who the hell Shade is.
Nav, within the corner of your eye, and only you, who you are the only one able to hear his voice, Shade appears. Like a shadow, spectating over your shoulder. He looks
What's up, Shade?
at you, this little shadowy silhouette, and he's like, Nav, did you call for me?
I mentioned your name in passing, but hey, since you're
Oh.
here, I might as well ask. Yeah, we were wanting to get tactical information on like Ugrest maps. I don't know, population count, just shit like that. You know who we would talk to?
Yes, he says, looking up his Word document.
All documents a Word document.
All Word documents. Hang on, I don't talk to him often. No, I'm just kidding. Her name's Lady Grasilia. You may have heard of her.
I think I
Zane.
have.
Zane has war
Doesn't ring a
flashbacks
bell.
to his legs being broken by her.
Ugh. She is the chief intelligence officer currently for the task force units before she returns to the army.
Cool.
We have a place.
I assume Nav is relaying all this to us since we can't hear Shadow. Or Shade. Whatever
Assumedly.
his name is.
Probably
Proper
not yet.
guy. Alright.
Like, he finishes the conversation with Shade and then relays it.
Is that
Okay.
all you wanted to get? Like, he can tell you where she currently is if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, if she has an office or something.
Yeah. She is currently, it's early morning right now, so she is doing her early morning meetings. You can find her at the war room, which is technically beneath the snack room in terms of like geolocation. Like a 5-minute jaunt over.
Cool. I haven't met her. Like, is there any... We're a quirky cast of people here. Is there anything I should be aware of?
Give me a persuasion check now.
Okay.
Shade likes having
Let me
fun.
bring up-
Sometimes he may sabotage you intentionally.
It's fine.
He doesn't feel that tricksty right now. Jerome's kind of ruining the trickery vibe that Shade sometimes gets up to. It's very rare any of his plans like go accordingly anyway. So basically, he will tell you, treat her as if she was the tyrant's mom.
What does that
degrees
even
worse.
mean?
God.
Good luck, Chief, and he vanishes.
What the fuck?
What?
I don't know. There's some lady. Shade said there was some lady in the war room, and I should treat her like the tyrant's mom, and I don't know what that means.
Do you
So-
have a name to go with this description?
Yeah, Lady Gracilia.
Processing. Sudden war flashbacks. Yes, I know them.
Oh, good. So, do you know what that means?
No. I do know they have broken my legs quite a few times.
No, that was Sergeant Slaughter. He broke your legs.
Oh, okay. I remember Lady Grasilia from last session. I wasn't sure if that was
She
the-
was just a magical caster of note.
Okay.
We treat her like we treat Tyrant's mom. So with respect, but
With respect and more fear than that of the tyrant. Got it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
Okay.
was thinking.
like she has all power.
Sure.
We might have different moms.
Well.
Yes, Smurth. I think we do, in fact, have different mothers. Astute observation.
I meant time of mothers, but sure.
Well, I
Well,
wish you luck in this endeavor, but I need to go get myself kitted out before we head out.
He does look disheveled. Zane could use a haircut, guys.
Could use a haircut, a shave, some new clothes.
I have a dagger you could use to cut your hair.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on now. It sounds like Zane is gonna go get outfitted.
Yes.
So Zane, please add... I mean, what are you looking for here? Let's just knock this out real quick.
Magical weapon,
Uh,
plus one dagger at the very least.
You're a melee wizard?
No, he's not, but like, it's useful to at least have a dagger. Also, his dex isn't that bad.
What about a +1 longsword?
Zane does not have the strength to use that.
Well, I have 36 +1 longswords and 1 +1 dagger. And if you're not a true stabby man, they're not going to give you a +1 dagger.
Well, shit.
You're a wizard. They remind you you are a wizard. Here's an arcane focus. Please add an arcane focus to your character sheet. This invisibility potion was used. So...
I don't actually need an arcane focus because I have a component pouch.
Wow.
Serves the same purpose.
Yeah. You're good then. Have a backpack. Take adventuring gear. I'm not going to question what adventuring gear you take. They just...
I take a fucking explorer's pack.
Yeah. Just go for it, man.
Zane walks into the armory with level 1 wizard gear and walks out of the armory with level 1 wizard gear and an explorer's pack.
Perfect. I mean, what do wizards really need? Let's be honest.
I don't think a wizard in this game.
Preferably something better than a base arcane focus / component pouch, but
Sorry. In 50 sessions, the only one who found a +1 wand blew it up immediately.
Really?
No, that was Orion, actually, wasn't it? It's all coming back to me now.
We tried duplicating it.
To be fair, somebody else found it, stored it, and then I put forth the money to try and duplicate it, and
Okay.
I failed.
So Nav failed.
Yeah.
But we blame Meager because he's not here to defend himself. It's all coming back to me now. Okay. Whew, we're catching up.
I don't think I need anything like it, but is there like any like gold costing components? Because I know I got some wizard spells.
Normally Ozark will pay out of pocket to acquire those. So if you need like a pearl for identify,
I already have that.
Okay. What else are you missing?
I don't think I'm missing anything that costs gold. I'm checking through my spells just in case, but okay. I think I'm good.
Then we will worry about those later.
Yep.
Nav and Mirth, you head to the war room.
Yeah, get their legs broken.
True. Who doesn't like getting their legs broken now and again? You can knock quietly on the door. A meeting will kind of halt and hither as a...
I was going to wait until she was done with the meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, then you guys wait outside. Eventually, some people will come out of it. One is... leading the charge is a huntress who is clearly within the Academy's school. Who is either acting out in like a assistant or advisory position, who's currently talking with a guy you've never seen before, who's dressed up in like all tiger print everything with a snazzy little bow tie on, salt and pepper. You know, he's a dad. You know, he just looks like a dad for a moment, and then he's gone, and you immediately forget about him. You will be passed by... Who is familiar with Tulst politics? I don't think either of you. Alright, then you'll see some guy who just has an air of authority, that he just sort of walks with, as well as a military uniform. Like, the proper military uniform, not this task force, stuff that you guys wear while on base. You will also pass a elderly gentleman, or these guys are passing you. You guys are just waiting for the room to be emptied. Some of you may know this guy. He is just one of the Tyrant's legitimate advisors who's kind of always in the background when it comes to, like, foreign affairs. And then, Nav and Mirth and Zane can both make me history checks right now for this next character. The final adult cast we never really get to see. Alright, Zane knows the Arcana is the key to the truth. Is this true, Nav?
Obviously.
I think Nav would pass as well. Mirth has no fucking clue. You guys will be passed by Quelith Denarii, who is or was 2 years ago, held responsible for blowing up Cantalar. I don't know if Zane's here, actually. Maybe he shouldn't have rolled. But Nav would have figured this out anyway.
It depends on how long they were waiting. He probably might have made their way back.
Well, you grabbed a backpack and then left, so you probably got there immediately.
Yeah. I got a backpack with an explorer's pack, and that was it.
Yeah. Nav, you see, like, a televised, equivalent to, like, a rebel leader / terrorist, well, I mean, she took responsibility for literally blowing up Cantalar 2 years ago. And she just, like, walks past you as if she's been here this entire time.
Alright, then.
And you go into the room, assumedly?
Yeah.
I guess we're not addressing that.
Colorful cast.
Yes, would.
Yeah.
There's another terrorist and/or probable war criminal with us.
Another.
Who isn't?
Well, she already walked away. It's not a big deal. Come on. We have information to get.
Yeah.
I mean, you could count Jerome in that as well.
Did
it was
somebody call my name? Jerome says.
Damn it!
Oh no.
Dropping from the ceiling in tandem with Spider Ozark to surround you. Or perhaps he's just using you as a medium to interrupt this entrance that you guys are in now. Jerome's here. What do you do to fend off Jerome, Mirth?
This is my fault.
Backflip.
You do a backflip?
Yeah.
Do an acrobatics check. Please roll
Natural one.
Come on, one. I'm feeling it. Fuck.
Fuse.
Dang it.
You do a backflip with no prep, no running, nothing. You just literally take a step forward, spring to your back, land low on the ground, like on your heels, and Jerome's just like, whoa! And is very surprised. As you duck, Ozark throws the spell, debilitating Jerome for a moment. And he looks back at you. I'll hold him here. Run!
We'll go into them.
Thanks, Jerome.
You thank Jerome.
Follows.
Now Ozark is the one who stopped Jerome, but you think Jerome himself.
Mirth, Nav, and Zane quickly walk in as, I guess you just hear the Ozark simulacrum, like, do a running chokehold and just slam Jerome into the ground, wrestling style. But the door closes, and you will look at a somewhat confused older woman in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. Very prim and proper, dressed as an instructor rather than a military / strategist. She moves her eyeglasses down and she looks at you and listens to the scuffle outside for a moment.
Is there a proper task force greeting?
Salute, yeah.
Nav is just gonna, back to basic training, snap to salute. And say, apologies for disturbing you, Lady Gracilia. I'm Nav with the known Lamau team.
I know who
the
you are.
Tolstein Task Force. Excellent. Sorry for disturbing you. We were informed we might be on the way to Ugarist after the winter, and I was told you are Chief Intelligence Officer?
That is one of the many hats I wear, yes. I am surprised you are the first team to actually come up to me about their future deployments. Maybe that says a lot about your She counts you 3. There's 2 of you missing. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes, we were thinking about deploying your team to Ugarast. It's not a perfect fit, but...
You make do with what you got, right?
Indeed. Take a seat, she says, pointing to the table that has been cleared off. Except for, like, some used glasses of water, which someone should probably deal with sometime, but not you guys. You're not the cleaning staff.
Nav will say thank you as he sits.
Yep, sit down. Nod.
And we'll also sit with a nod.
You all sit. Lady Grazilia will take a step back to a whiteboard that she'll just sort of like flip over so that it obscures the notes that were being denoted upon it. If anyone cares, I'll give them a quick perception check to snag a peek. But if nobody cares, no big deal.
Worth the
Zane
curious.
cares.
I mean, yeah, if you're giving it to me, I'll take it.
Alright.
So-
Oh, that was
There we
persuasion,
go.
not perception. Hold on, that was persuasion, not perception.
Okay, so we got an 11 perception from the Arcana, also known as Nav. We have a 7 from Zane, and then a crit fail on Mirth. You know, it's just all smudgy anyway. Like, whoever wrote on it clearly had, like, bad handwriting. Maybe, like, a bunch of people got up at one time and just, like, started drawing over with dry erase markers over each other. But, no sneaky plans that you can decipher, you 3 realize. After Lady Grazilia, casually kind of ignoring whatever's on the other side of the whiteboard, will begin to write out stuff on the new fresh slate. She will then go to a just mess of documents at the end of, like, clearly her side of the table, where she almost did like a presentation style sort of speech. And will mutter to herself, Ugarast. Okay, here we go. And she will begin to set up a full-blown debriefing upon the Ugarast situation, as she calls it. Excuse me. Let me go to my secret folder called Year 2.
Ooh.
How do you spell Ugarast again?
Sneak peek.
Ugrerest. It is very annoying. I often question myself upon the naming conventions that were decided before this campaign started. But oh well. We're committed now. Okay, so she writes on the whiteboard, Ugarast, year 2. Or not year 2, 81. And then she puts a C for the calendar year. She will then go ahead and throw up some pictures of some people you do not recognize, but you can undoubtedly get your own copies of. And she will kind of explain the situation in post, and John is going to kind of summarize this rather than pad this out further, because you guys may have things you want to act on. The Ugarast situation is divided politically. People are expecting a civil war within the next year or 2. Currently, due to their own archaic government system, they have a democratic republic with a elected but also inherited position known as the Archon. This Archon seat is currently run by a Cleontic, I think. Hang on, let me check one second. He has a name. Cleontic Leeds is currently in control of this Archon seat, and he is a weird political maneuver, appointed his chief political rival, currently titled the White Maiden, because no one knows her true name, here in Tolst, to the seat of War Master, which is a military position where she just micromanages all of Ugares's military. So basically, the head legislative body is now quarreling with the militaristic factions of the city-state, which is a recipe for disaster that has been played out for hundreds of years. Let's go to the map. Ugarest sits at the very far bottom corner of this map and is known as the gateway to Hyperia, a continent a few thousand miles away from Klovisa to the west. West, southwest, northwest, somewhere around there. Having this port open allows for foreign goods to enter the markets of Klovisa, which is super important economically, but also, I mean, just having connection to a different continent is really fucking awesome. Especially when you're in a globalist society, much like the Confederation used to be. What else do we need to know? That's kind of a situation right now that you guys are aware of. More information is needed to be determined. What kind of questions do you guys have that I can potentially give you?
Is there any, for when we go there, is there any type of climate or topology we should prepare for?
It is a... Ugarest itself, the city, is built on a large island city. I mean, the entire island's space is now an urban center. There is no, like, rural landscape except for their smaller archipelago islands, which sort of support them agriculturally.
So the topography is city.
It is yes, it is an urban city. Historically, these damn nations during civil wars, Cantalar being the chief example right now. Civil war happened in Cantalar. Part of it blew up. It now no longer exists. And that took them like 4 months. Ugarest is somewhat different because spirit beasts don't exist out in the ocean. So if Ugarest does have a full-blown civil war, a bunch of fucking high-tier breath weapon-wielding monsters won't show up to make matters worse, which is what happened in Cantalar, and another accelerant of its destruction. Meaning, the Ugarest conflict can be as long as they want and as bloody as it can be. Which is bad if Ugarest is going to be useful in the coming war.
Okay, so without intervention, we can assume it's going to be an extended civil war.
Mm-hmm. Lady Grasilia will tell you that from what their spies and their... not just spies, but informants tell them, is that the Archon is making moves both politically and subtly to remove his war master from power. He cannot do that on his own. There is no legal... like, if a war master is a position for life, almost like a supreme justice in our government, if you're American. So once she was appointed, after getting through all of the checks needed to get that position, she cannot be kicked out. Which means she needs to be removed either by force or have enough pressure on her that she resigns willingly. The Archon, which similarly is a position for life, which is inheritable. So if he dies, he could give his position to a successor. Like, he gets to decide that. It's just a holdover from when they were, like, a kingdom. And even though their Senate, which they have one, not that anybody really cares about the Senate, has the main political power and like are the movers and shakers of their society, like the Archon still has a shit ton of influence.
So kind of like Britain, where there's technically a governing body, but there's still royalty
Yeah,
that has influence.
pretty similar, yeah. Except the queen or king in that situation holds both, like, royal head as well as technical executive officer.
Right.
So it's kind of like if your president was only, or if your prime minister only controlled the military and could not be removed, was now getting mad at the Queen of England. It's a very weird situation that is unique to this world rather than a direct comparison to ours.
I did want to clarify. So the Archon is democratically elected, but
it's
while
kind
he's
of
in power, he can designate a successor like a monarch would.
Yeah, so...
And if he doesn't, then it's back to an election?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
When the Archon, the first Archon, formed his Senate, the Senate gave him his power as, like, a show of, like, hey, thank you for being reasonable as we move to a more democratic way of governance. Here are all the rights you still have, here, and we are taking kind of the rest. He doesn't have a lot of true political power. He can't declare war on anybody. He can't, he does not act as, like, a religious figurehead, nor as a judge. But he has a lot of influence and can weigh in on things, kind of like a decider. So if anything is split within the Senate, he can come in and be like, hey, let's lean more towards this way. And people will listen to him out of respect for the position, or because they're in his pocket, because, I mean, generational wealth is a thing, right? And you don't be a king for generations without having a lot of wealth.
I missed it while I was writing things down. The Civil War is expected to be between the military and who else?
Him, the Archon.
Okay. Archon faction versus the military.
So in for like boots on the ground type of situation, does that look like military, like civilians who have volunteered for the military or have joined the military, and then the rest of the civilians? Or like Archon loyal civilians?
This is not a civilian being... This is not at that point yet where people and like modern or common day soldiers are going against like the populace or the police, right? This is purely like upper echelon squabbling. So like generals have their cadres, their, you know, chiefs of staff, all their like people around them. And these sort of gangs of high political influence are now rivaling against one another. So, the White Maiden, also known as the War Master, has appointed enough of her own people within the military that the military, like upper echelons, generals, people with authority, are in her camp. The Archon has the entire Senate backing him and historical precedents.
Which one? I remember it correctly. Last week, we found out one of those factions have a relationship with the Church of the Burning Star.
It is theorized, and it is... Lady Grasilia will say it is not confirmed yet, because we need more sources. But a chaplain... It was either Duplon or Duncan, she'll have to check her own notes on it later, has gone to Ugarest in the name of the Herald. He has left Klovisa's shores, has sailed there, and has been spotted there. She's pretty sure it's Duncan, now that she's thinking about it.
And
it is believed that he is going to the Archon's camp.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The War Master... Kind of like... No, please finish. She's steamrolling you.
that would mean that if we were to support a side, and considering that the Archon had the historical precedent, we'd be siding with the military that is the new faction.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense, right? Lady Grizilia asks you. We want their military. Why wouldn't we back them? There are downsides to this, of course, she will readily admit. The White Maiden is a demagogue. She has a cult of followers that more or less worship her. The Archon put her into the War Master position so that he could send her to Cantalar when it was burning down and she would die there. There's clearly bad blood between them. We don't know the full details of that yet. We probably won't until we have finished making contact with her and offering our assistance. The Tyrant has a little bit of a connection with her as well. When he went to save Cantalar's people, she challenged him initially, and he refused to waste his time. This sort of spurned her a little bit, but she is the only huntress, a true huntress, who has been certified by the officiary within all of Ugarest. She is likely their most powerful magical person there. It's going to be a weird situation whoever goes there will be in.
Meaning us.
Likely you, yes.
Well, our objective in this case is to help the War Master dethrone the Archon.
Yes. So, to my understanding of what is currently happening, there is no way to unappoint a War Master, but there is a way to unelect an Archon. It is a very strange loophole that she is pushing for, but she needs control of the Senate to do that. The Senate is clearly in the Archon's camp, for all of our information shows. But if we could fracture them up, if we could find out the real movers or shakers of the Archon's power and get them to switch sides by blackmail or extortion or whatever dirt we can find, or just prove that the Archon is not worth backing anymore, it should be pretty simple to get rid of his power. We're still in negotiations with the War Master to see what we will get for our own involvement. Obviously, we want soldiers and airships and all. We want so many airships, guys. You have no idea how badly we need them. I don't know if you are aware of this, but it is being whispered enough publicly that I'm not ashamed to share it. We are planning to invade the Isles of Flavor and remove their tumorous creature that they have in control of that island chain. If Ugarest joins us, it would open a new front and give us much needed vehicles to transport our own people over there. It's very ironic in a way. Ugarest is a predominantly human and humanist imperialist country, and they're going to help us overthrow a cartel leader and slaver of demi-humans.
Will this plan of ours affect our relationship with Maelstrom? Or is Maelstrom primarily against the Archon and their involvement, or is there a faction that they represent their hatred towards? Because I know they fight the military a lot.
You might not be aware of this, but I was raised in Maelstrom, Lady Grasilia tells you. I am a noble, hence the lady. It is not my first name. It is a title.
My apologies, lady.
It was an informative thing, not a... I put down too many people. I'm sorry. I should stop being so passive-aggressive. Let me cut to the chase. King Maelstrom is currently dealing with his son. His son, Prince Maelstrom, of the state of Maelstrom, has declared the quest of ascendancy, and he is trying to usurp his father's throne and take command of his own country. It is a tradition that the king oppose him to make sure his son is worthy of rulership before he adopts a new one or makes a new one. It's weird. Maelstrom is just... Maelstrom's a weird place. I'd never go there. Just never go there. He is distracted for now. His prince has left the state. The king must stay on his throne. If the prince fails his quest, King Maelstrom will likely resume his campaign against Ugarest, who have historically been their punching bag for the past 50 or so years. In which case...
Question.
What? What's up?
I know little about Maelstrom's rituals. That's not the right word, but we'll run with it. Customs, yes. Is there anything dictating that the prince cannot be helped during his quest of ascension?
There's nothing dictating it, but he is the one who must ultimately seek it. Also, removing King Maelstrom from power too quickly, we won't get anything for it.
Just an idea I had. That from what I've heard, we have a couple people on friendly terms with the prince in this
Sure we
group
do.
alone.
Runt, yes.
Having a friend of the group as king would help us more than hurt us, I feel. But that's just my idea.
Undoubtedly would, but we must prioritize.
Yes.
No king lives forever. His son will eventually come into power either way. What we need to focus on is our own fronts. Ugarest allows us, if successful, to fully take the Isles of Flavor, in which case we have our back. And more importantly, we have a humanitarian crisis averted and broken after thousands of years of slavery.
Surprised that the Church of the Bladed Star hasn't gone into contact with Isle of the Flavor yet.
They might have. Unlike Ugarest, which has millions of people in it, the Isles of Flavor only has a few tens of thousands. Not only that, their main political body has complete control over the rest of the islands. Only Shade is able to properly infiltrate, and that is... Don't tell him I said this, but he is... inefficient at best. He can't be everywhere at once, and often he is pulled in multiple directions, oftentimes on accident.
It's like mentioning his name sometimes
Yes.
brings him.
Only if you say it with a magical charge, but yes.
I look to Nav.
I can't help what I am.
I wish I had more information for you. But for now, that is more or less all I have to give away. Everything else is speculative.
We have
Better
transportation
than
and
nothing.
yes, better than nothing. But do we have transportation towards the
Getting you there.
if
The
it's
Judgment of
indeed
Longing
something.
is what we are banking on. They should return here in a few weeks, 3 at most. From there, we'll wait out the winter, see if we can re-equip it. I doubt that it can give close fire support or anything like that, but it can definitely reach Ugarest.
Do we know what type of armor and armaments we're working against?
Modern day. Ugarest is a fully mechanized society. They have little in the ways of essence manipulation. Not to say that their most powerful people do not have access to that, but the common Ugarestian soldier is a tenth of the average Maelstrom, if that makes sense. Not to toot my own country's horn, but Maelstrom has been at war with Ugarest, who severely outnumbers them.
If you allow me, I would like to throw out another idea. What about taking your flying temple friend over to Ugarest?
I don't think it's going to be a very good idea unless we get the heart of a certain gnome.
Oh, Randy? Is that what you're discussing?
Yes.
Randy is a temple of Hephaestus. We would be a fool to just activate what weapon systems it has without knowing it. For all we know, a bunch of undead monstrosities could just fly out and just... We don't want to make a
That
repeat of the past.
that's why it was simply an idea. After all, we have admit if I shall be honest, this group has a lot of time on its hands at the moment. We have no
Yes.
clear direction. We could.
Well.
I understand that this whatever is in charge of the temple, this Randy, once the head of Piddle's wet spot, I think it was. Or at least the codes they have.
We are working on it.
Yes. I am simply saying that
once we have those codes and know what he is doing, he will indeed be brought within our war plans. But we're not just going to prematurely add them when we don't even know what he does yet. For all we know, he is a museum that can fly. If the only way to weaponize him is to drop him from the sky like a comet, that feels like a one-time use kind of thing.
My main suggestion was, currently we have no ideas, we're simply playing a waiting game. We could try to learn more about this Randy, this Temple of Hephaestus.
By all means, go for it.
It's a direction we can go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we already tried, and he's not talking without fiddles.
There are other ways to gain information outside of just speaking to that person.
Yes, we don't necessarily need him to talk. It would certainly be a lot more useful if he would talk to us, but at the moment that's not an option.
Is there anything close to home before the winter comes that needs to be done for the task force?
I believe all task force members have completed their initial objectives. Your units were an experiment. We did not expect you all to do as well as some of you did. Mirth, you, a replacement for basically 4 other people, have to just sort of sit on your hands there, having more or less accomplished nothing.
Well, I went to
Yeah.
the other place.
We know.
Parents.
It's fine. Lady Grasilia looks at you all. This is all I know about Ugarest, or I am willing to share. Prepare accordingly if you can, but more details are going to follow over the winter, assuredly.
I have one major question. Why was the political team not tasked for this mission?
They are no longer considered the political team. They have failed every single one of their political objectives since the start of their unit.
I see.
They are now only relegated to the failure team. Which I'm sure once they make some actual successes and stop bitching, they will get their title back.
Good to know.
Indeed. Well then, I will be seeing you guys later.
Yep. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
She respectively does her thing, spins the whiteboard, which magically erases, and skedoodles. Well, of course, she secures all of her documents as well, which, state secrets.
Yeah.
Zane will look between Mirth and Nav. So, what next? We know a bit more about the job we're being sent on in a few months. It's still just the waiting game so far.
Well, is there anything going on close to home? Because we can't really go anywhere now that the airships are not really an option anymore. The most we can do is go to Alcazan, but it seems every time we want to do that one quest, we kind of get stuck with the idea of like something else coming up.
What one quest?
We were supposed to visit underground, and regarding the Flower Mage's vestments. It has a connection to the Ulathayan.
And this is in Alcazan.
Yes, underneath their grove.
Zane would know about this grove, correct?
No. He does not at all.
Ah, okay.
It's Grove of Spring or something like that.
Garden of Spring.
Garden Spring.
It's something to do at the very least. I also have something I would like to see back home in Alcazan anyways.
Well, I mean, we can't go there without going through murderous illusionary plants.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's I don't think that's on the table anymore. But if you want to go home, as you say, it's not like we're doing anything else. So
yeah, we're willing to go.
I have not been back to Alcazan ever since finding that magical artifact that teleported me to Maelstrom. While I do not think anything is left there for me, it would at least be nice to see if there is something.
Yeah, maybe we can also sightsee.
I can introduce you to the library. Who knows? We might find my old teacher there.
The library.
Yes. Where I did most of my early wizard studying. Also where
So
I
you
work,
want to go home?
seeing as we have not many other
Just say
options.
yes!
Yes!
Thank you! Beating around the bush, guys. I can only take so much. Ah. Zane wants to go home. Does anyone want to go with him?
Yeah.
Nav, do
Right
you
now?
care?
Well, I had one or two things I wanted to do in Tulst, but like for narrative's sake of keeping us together, I don't mind going.
You don't
It's nothing
have
that
to.
can't wait until the winter, so.
Oof. Well, don't say that. We have
Well,
more news
October.
coming tomorrow.
Ooh.
It's still October. We got plenty of time.
I'm in my September pages. I need to go to my October pages. Alright, let's knock out Zane stuff. Nav, I'm gonna keep you there. I'm gonna keep you in
Okay.
Tulst. Mirth can choose to stay or go. I think Mirth would like to see the world, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me take you guys to Alcazan.
For the third time.
Welcome back to Alcazan. Zane, you take a ferry over. You will spend the night here in Alcazan. Don't worry about payment or lodgings. This place is a vassal of Tolst and will pay out of their own pocket. I don't remember if we had this map when you initially played, but
We did not.
we did not, no. Alright, you will see the massive, huge, fuck huge citadel where the governor rules. Question marks? Quotation marks, truly. There will be this big, chonky library right next to her in the center of town. But I don't think you're going to go to the library first. I think you're going to get off the docks and immediately head home.
Yep.
Zane, can you just roll me a 1d20 real quick?
Uh-oh.
If you want to use your portent, by all means, go for it. I don't know if you do, but...
Highest that can get me is a 12. I'm gonna risk it.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Did you roll?
Yeah. Oh, I rolled it to GM.
Oh, you rolled it to GM. Okay.
I forgot to unclick GM from
This
the general.
is... No,
door.
you're good. Please remove that, though.
I did.
Cool. You rolled an 18.
Yes.
Zane, you walk old familiar streets that used to be bombed out, shelled, rubble-strewn garbage heaps. More aligned to, like, Berlin after it had been bombed and after Hitler killed himself. Now, it is flourishing. People are out in the open, selling goods, trading openly, as if the Confederation was not just declared defunct by someone else's city-state. Many people, foreigners included, from all over the western coast are still here. You even see some Maelstrom boys, they're boys in blue, walking about, patrolling, always having some kind of presence, kind of everywhere in most major ports, but by no means are they... By no means is Alcazan stagnating. It's honestly kind of refreshing to see so many people just out and about. And you walk to where your old house used to be. Partially damaged, where one time a Thorazorian bomb struck through the ceiling and demolished your mother. The roof is now a different shade of tiles. It's now a bright, vibrant red. The wood outside looks new and sort of carved. It looks like your entire house has been kind of rebuilt. What do you do, Zane?
He will
Oop, wrong one.
take a take a deep breath, walk up to the door, and just knock on it.
You walk on it.
Yes, I walk on it.
What time of day is it? Is it like the afternoon? It'd have to be like later in the evening. So,
Yeah.
you expected to stay the night here. It's fine. It's evening now. You go to knock on the door, taking a little step up to the townhouse's entryway, and after a brief moment, hearing weird laughter like, coming from the door, will open the face of your sister, who immediately does a double take, a smile having been on her face that is turned to a shocked, almost jaw drop. Zane?
Hello.
What was your sister's name again?
I don't think we ever gave her one, because I don't think we ever expected for them to become relevant.
True. I see Sewer Gigolo. Let us call her. Bind those names together. Now, let's go to a name generator. It's true, we did move through Alcazan quite quickly, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, fantasy name generator. You are an elf.
Yes.
This is a joke. These are bad names. I'm not dealing with this shit. Her name is Ardesia.
No.
Ardesia, your sister. In the year, or almost two, yeah, like year and a half you've been gone, basically. You remember her being, like, catatonic and depressed and horrified and traumatized by your mother's sudden death. And now, she's just wiped a smile from her face and speaks to you in worried tone and asks you, Zane, where have you been?
Long story. Sorry I couldn't come home earlier. There's a bit of a tear trickling down Zane's face at the moment.
Yeah, she comes to hug you immediately.
He gives a hug back. I've been very, very worried.
We thought you were dead. You just vanished.
Yes. A lot of weird things have been happening for a long time, but I'm alive. I'm back, at least for the time being.
Come in. Please, she looks to Mirth. Is he your friend?
Yes.
She comes to shake your hand, Mirth.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. What's your name?
Mirth.
Mirth, I'm Ardesia. I'm Zane's sister. Wow, okay. She wipes her face, quickly, and then ushers you both inside to a family dinner. Zane, your father's there, along with, around 4 or 5 other people you do not recognize.
Zane will look at his father. Does his father look absolutely hammered drunk at this point?
No! The complete opposite, in fact. He looks well groomed, I suppose, if not like someone else has clearly dressed him.
I
How
look
old
at
was
the
he again? Like in his early 50s, late 50s?
50 sounds about right, considering Zane was 28 when he was
Yeah.
spirited away.
So yeah, he's like 53, 54 right now.
God damn, Zane
And
is
there
almost
is
30 at this
a somewhat older woman around the same age as him next to him, as well as 4 other people of varying ages. Some of them younger, some of them... No, almost all of them younger than you. And he stands up as you enter in complete bafflement and does not say a word as he approaches you and just grabs your face as if to see if you're real or not.
Hello, father.
Zane. And he will grapple you by the neck. In the most hostile embrace you've ever been in. Not a chokehold, but like, oh, it is the most old man strength hug you have ever felt before.
He returns the hug.
Uh, I don't know if we want to roleplay this out and explain what has occurred in this past year for them. Or if, like, in character. But I think I kind of want to summarize what happened.
I'm fine with a summarization.
Yeah, so when you disappeared, Uzozan, your teacher, came and harassed your family, asking where you were.
Being better.
No, she was like a completely hostile Wicked Witch of the West of, where did your son go with my magic? He teleported away suddenly, that motherfucker. Having some kind of trace on you when you inevitably disappeared. This more or less system shocked your entire 2 surviving family members. Your dad had no idea you were gone, thought you had died, and had to get his life together to, well, keep the family afloat. And your sister, who was 20 at the time, had a similar revelation of, we have no one to support us anymore. It is wartime. We have to do things or we are going to die. And Uzozan, in her infinite hostility and malice, sparked the fires of survival within both of them. And rather than succumbing to the challenge, or withering away like they were apparently going to, they managed to reverse it. In a way, reversing all of the horrible imagery that you have been building in your head for the past year. Your dad remarried 3 months ago with another widow and her own children. Your sister is, I believe, in a logistical job within the airship terminal. So she basically just keeps track of manifests and shipments. But work is becoming less and less steady, which is, a thing that she has contemplated. And she was thinking about going to Tulst since they have so many job opportunities. It is horribly mundane, Zane. What is your thoughts on that?
His thoughts on how horribly mundane trying to get a job in Tulsk would be?
No, I mean, in comparison to, you got teleported to Maelstrom, became a vassal of their king, and then were kidnapped by the Lich Wizard of Wizardry, had your legs broken by a guy named Sergeant Slaughter, and you are now a wizard that is about to surpass Uzozan just by being locked in a room for a year. And she's, your sister has... She's still level 1, bro.
Yeah. Probably even less than that. All that flickers through Zane's head is not how mundane their life has been ever since he left, just how this one incident of him being spirited away has accomplished technically all of his wishes. His family got better. He's a better wizard. It's mostly everything he wanted. And while he thinks he might not have a place in this new life for his family, he's happy about it. Because at least it's not the worst case scenario he kept envisioning.
Well then. With a massive weight potentially off Zane's shoulders, and a indeed uncertain future before you, we're going to take our first break here, get Gibby back in, and see what the fuck went on over there, I guess, as we move our calendar a few days forward. Guys, we'll be right back. everyone, we are back with a snazzy-looking runt who just got engaged. What? Oh my
What?
god.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
I was about to
spoil.
say. How much did we
We're one
times get me
step
and
off in
Mirthel together?
game.
Jesus.
Merce, your head's a little
What are you talking about?
your camera. It's
No, that's just him as normal.
that's just
Yeah,
him
it's
as
fine.
Because
normal, I
normally,
guess.
normally he's laying down. Normally he's laying
Oh,
down.
true,
That's why.
yeah. Now he's gone.
gone.
Okay.
Well, I can do it this way, but the
Okay.
light is right behind me.
It's okay. We
Looks
love
like
it.
you're missing a good chunk of your head.
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
just
right?
been fucking shot. Just in that. Right,
It's like
welcome
the zombie.
to the game. We're gonna do a very quick scene with you to catch you up on what kind of occurred. Or I'm just gonna catch you up on what occurred this session real quick. Nav, Mirth, and Zane talked with Lady Grasilia about what you guys are gonna do in the future. News happened before that where the Forge of Alvin has basically said we're gonna go it alone. Thanks. We'll see your diplomats in 3 weeks. And so they're out. It's October
There's
1st.
seceding from the.
No,
the
there's
thing?
always been a way for them to peacefully back out of the Confederation, and no one's gonna enforce them to stay.
Oh, true.
Anyone who had debts in Cancelar on them are dead and gone. And Tolls has no way of enforcing Confederation law, nor do they want to on the Forge of Alvin. Especially when it was discovered that they have more or less a Alventory Gundam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
This
Yeah,
is stuff you
actually.
find out much later, though, as we move into the October 2nd. Runt!
Yes. That's me. It's
Uh,
been 1 week since you talked to me.
It has been 1 week, Runt. We left you off in kind of a precarious situation. And we should discuss this like adults rather than meme about it. Irithil is a person who has had an active sex life for over 500 years. You are basically coerced into an affair with her. Because she ignorantly or refused to engage with you on the level that you wanted to engage with, and she was grieving for her grandfather, and just sort of took advantage of you. An impressionable, 20-something-year-old hobbit?
23. I guess 24, because he's been working. It's been basically a year now in game, right? Yeah.
So,
early
Super
20s.
Cougar showed up, who clearly has, some experience in the field, of, just sort of being an adult, since she has been one for so long. We're not going to get into anything graphic, since we are indeed on Twitch, but how does Runt take having a sex life? Or his first sexual experience with basically a BDSM queen?
He is going to assume a lot of things, but it's going to basically boil down to I'm not sure what I was expecting, and still I'm surprised. Or I should say, I was partly expecting this, but not like this. Because he knows it's Irithil, and even though she's, a lot different right now, being grieving and not really having a lot of purpose in her life, she's deep down, when that Irithil spirit comes out, she's gonna show it. And he knows Irithil for who she is, the lady who says those who whip together live forever. And I'm sure he will be, but he's still kind of being like, I'm not against this, but I didn't ask for this. And I'm not sure how to feel about it.
You didn't ask for it. She made assumptions. And, we're not going to talk about the time that is spent, but more or less a day or so will go by, Runt, where you will have this weird little affair with who used to be your superior and also is kind of doing her own thing now. It's a weird situation that she is in, that you are now sort of coerced into. And eventually, someone will come knocking on the door to see where the fuck Irithil's been. So, as that person comes a knocking, Runt, what do you do?
He's gonna look to her, and he's just gonna whisper, "Do you have a small place for me to hide?"
She throws you under the sheets.
Okay, then he's going to cast a spell if that's all she does.
Yeah. I mean, you're a hobbit, right? You could be mistaken for a pillow.
He has a spell specifically for this instance that he's learned.
Oh, yeah?
It's called Enlarge and Reduce. And he's going to make himself smaller and try to hide under the bed if he can.
Yeah, for 1 minute. How long can this conversation be?
Actually,
can you do it for 2 minutes?
Because I can do it for 2 minutes. Because I have
Meta Magic.
Meta Magic Extend spell, which allows me to double
oh my god.
the time. And if I can cast the spell again, because I have 2 second level spell slots, and I can basically be smaller for 4 minutes. If I absolutely have to be.
Alright, you throw a pinch of iron powder in the air, sound throw on, and turn small. You get buried under the blankets. You crawl under the bed, dragging the sheet. And Irithil goes with it, and it's just like, come in! We're gonna roll. It is now October 2nd. Who would be the most damning person to walk in right now, guys?
I'd assume I would also be able to make a stealth check of some kind.
Fucking Jerome. Can you imagine? Oh my god, there's no way Jerome is allowed anywhere near anyone's living area.
I mean, he's not allowed, but he'd probably still do it anyways.
You can make a stealth check. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Awesome. Can I do it at advantage because I'm small?
No.
Okay.
A casual 27. You vanish underneath the shadows of these this draped bed that you are currently on. And since you are completely obscured, you can't really see who it is exactly coming in. But I'm going to give you a perception check to see if you recognize the name.
15.
You have never heard this voice before. But it appears to be another female who's like, Irithil, get the fuck up! What have you been doing here? And then she'll just, like, pause for a second. And Irithil will be like, no, come in, make yourself at home. And she'll be like, get dressed, it's midnight, Tyrant needs to talk. And she will make a huff and a puff, and Irithil will begin to get up as the door closes. And she will state, below her bed, leave in like 10 minutes.
A very tiny hand with a thumbs up comes out from under the bed and then slowly retracts back under it.
I'm just imagining like a toddler hand.
Oh no,
it's a
like
baby.
He looks, yeah, he looks
toddler sized normally.
And now he's even smaller. Now he's literally
He is a tiny sized creature at the moment.
I'm as big as a pixie.
As your spell wears off and you shimmy outside of the bed looking around for your clothing or your armor or your lederhosen, I guess. You still have your
Now it's... I guess you'd wear the lederhosen as casual wear now, yeah. Because now that he has the Royal Guard armor, he wears that instead on missions.
Oh, God. Oh, this looks very weird if anyone would have walked in. Just like, what? Why do you have children's lederhosen in here? What the fuck?
Now imagine if I cast Fog Cloud instead.
Just fucking run.
Bomb.
Erithil will go shower, and then quickly leave, having managed to don her split mail armor in insane time. I guess it's not too surprising that a high-leveled character would have a way to quickly defend themselves. But still, it's heavy armor, and she clanks, and, like, it's clearly made of splint. It's not like pretend mail like the other Ulathayans had. And Runt, you were kind of left alone in, like, a lieutenant of a tyrant's room?
Very tempted to snoop around. So I'm gonna
You're gonna do that.
I'm gonna roll a die. Kinda. Not kinda, I am going to.
You're gonna declare what these dice mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll an intelligence check, and if I roll above a 12, I won't snoop around. I'm gonna explain why in a second. Okay. So my reasoning for this is, he's like, on the one hand, there's some part of his mind that makes him think that he might see this room again for some reason, which would be like above a 12, which is also coupled by, hey, this is Irithil. She could probably just whip me to death if she catches me, or if anyone catches me snooping around. And then below that is like, yeah, but fuck it. Almost following like the Nav line of thinking, like, YOLO. Like, when would I ever actually get the chance to just be alone in this room again?
Sure.
So he's going to snoop around and specifically look for like a journal that she has.
Give me a investigation check.
Okay.
Wow, you're just gonna
19.
read through her diary.
Yep. I mean, she read through mine.
That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, but
I gave her mine.
Yeah, you gave it to her. That doesn't count.
Irithil is a full-fledged adult. She does not have a diary. It's unfortunate. You won't find that, but what you will find is a lockbox behind, not the bed, probably in the wardrobe itself, that there is like a fake bottom that probably once was a drawer that has sort of like had a wooden pane put under it. And like, if you open up the wardrobe and like look at the clothing, you won't see it. But if you look down, there's going to be like a bunch of random shoes and shit. And if you move those, you can find a trapdoor which leads to a lockbox that is currently locked. It is roughly, it's actually quite sizable. It's almost like 4 foot long by like 2.5 feet wide. It looks heavy. I guess like an attaché case, more so than a box.
What kind of lock does this little box have on it?
She's a witch. I'll let you figure that one out.
Okay, so it's probably arcane in nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think I'm just gonna be like, damn. Kind of figured though.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure to not touch it.
Okay.
Do not touch the funny looking box.
No fingerprints.
Yeah, but I do want to kind of inspect it and see like what might be inside this box based on its kind of dimensions. Like, is this like an amulet? Could this have documents in it? Does this carry like a weapon? You know, like,
it
tell me
is
more about
4
this
feet
box.
long by 2.5 feet wide, and it goes about a foot deep. So it can have literally all of those things at one time.
Okay, so it's like a sizable chest then.
Yeah, it's not like you can't fit a great sword in there.
Yeah,
like,
but you could fit like a long sword or like literally, like you said, all of those things
You could
at
fit
once could be
like
in that box.
12 plus 1 longswords in there easily.
Yeah, that's a pretty big box. I think I will not touch, and I will just go, huh. Well, shit. Alright. And then he'll get prepared to leave the room.
Okay.
Make sure he has everything on him, not leaving anything behind, and then just to leave.
Okay. Give me another intelligence check.
Okay.
Let's see if you get everything.
20.
Okay. You get 99.99 certain that you have everything on you. The real question is, did Iristhil take something?
Yeah.
Well, and you are trying to remember if you have everything. You check your pockets, you look at your wallet, the social security card's still there.
Do I have Kevin? Is Kevin still with me?
Kevin is still... No, Kevin would not be there, but you would not bring Kevin into this, I don't think.
That's true.
Otherwise, Kevin has some saucy
You wouldn't be
information to
surprised.
share with Nav. And you leave. And we're gonna do a weird little flashback thing as you go to... probably go to your room and lay down and decompress for a moment. Nav, it is October 2nd. Merv and Zane, not Merv, Mirth and Zane have left for
Merv.
Alcazan to do whatever it is they're gonna do there. What do you have in store before things happen?
Well, I did want to have a conversation with you, Goo, but that asshole isn't here, so
Based.
that can be put on the back burner again. Yeah, this is something that's been on my list for a few weeks now, but I just want to like the tyrant needs a break. But I'm not going to interrupt him because I know he wouldn't take that well. So I'm just going to like flowers, some alcohol, maybe like a good meat pie, some pastries, just like a bunch of good shit. I want to like try and have it scheduled to be delivered to his officer quarters or whatever at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
In the morning or at night?
And at night.
So you're gonna give him a care package. That's so sweet.
Yes.
What brought this on, if I might ask? What's the motivation? What's the reason?
It kind of harkens back to immediately after the armor was taken off and Nav was in physical therapy, the tyrant came and saw Nav and we had like that whole talk. I was basically like, let me know if you need, like, if I can do anything for you because I know you're carrying a lot. And he was basically like, shut the fuck up, you do enough. But that made it clear that like the tyrant's not gonna do anything. Like, he's not gonna take care of himself. So this is just like you have a lot going on, and I know that, but like, take a minute, breathe.
Take a minute.
I like you.
Do you leave like a
Friends,
note
chill.
or anything to like identify it was you, or is it like a mystery box? Because let's be real here. If you give a world leader a mystery box,
yeah, it's not gonna go well. No, a short note like, man, breathe for a second, Nav.
okay. Are you going to confirm or just trust that this gets there? Are you gonna wait for like a reaction, or? You said you ordered it to get there to him by 8, but
yeah.
are you gonna like follow the fucking deliverer like a fucking weirdo? Or?
I say that it's probably more of like a get the shit made around that time, then pick it up, and then I'll like what's it called? kids do it as a prank when they knock on the door and
Ding
then they run
dong
off.
ditch.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna like do that on his office.
Okay. You prepare this on the 2nd of October. And I think you're going to get through, like, the making of the box. Or at least get it ready when a rumor will begin to spread. A rumor most foul. They are calling this the slap heard round the world. While you are in the kitchen, probably, like, getting H, the ogre-sized chef, he's just a bro. Everybody knows H and loves this guy. He feeds everyone. He's, like, a 5-star chef. And he does not skip and is, like, always attentive to people, as if he's, like, just seeing things like the Flash does, where he's just, like, always noticing things whenever something's wrong. He'll, like, give people extra food. Like, H is great, and he's like, this box is a wonderful idea. And then while you guys are, like, talking about, like, what to put into it, and H is being like, you know, the tyrant doesn't really eat food, but he'll definitely give it to his bodyguard. Fucking some dude just runs into the cafeteria during, like, this non-busy hour. And he enters, casually at first, and then, like, sees you two, waddles up real quickly with, like, a giddiness, and he's like, did you two hear? And H will look at him, and he'll look to you. He shakes his head, and this random guy, you've never met him before in your life, he must be some kind of shit stirrer. You know that energy of, like, some dude who just, like, needs to say something?
Yeah, they're here to cause chaos.
Yeah. He leans in close. H leans over the sneeze-proof counter, or the sneeze guard, and this man says, Jess Meza came back from her little, she, like, saved her sister from Jerome's spooky estate, and she just slapped Tyrant in the fucking face. It was so loud, it rang through the halls. And he, like, looks to H, and H just, like, goes full fucking, like, what? They're best friends! And he's like, apparently not. And then he's like, I'm gonna go tell the rest of the court. And he fucking dances off, basically, skipping.
Wow.
H's eyes are wide as he trails after the guy who literally does a outside the back entrance into the halls. Oh, shit.
Shit. I don't know if I should put a hold on this idea or if it's more appreciated now. I feel like a hold, right?
I mean, he'll appreciate the gesture no matter when. Maybe it'll, if he's sad about it, he'll be the thing that turns his day around.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay.
Do you want to go with it?
Yeah.
And H will help you make this little gift box. He'll even... he doesn't have, like... Not, like, present wrap, but he has, like, bows and stuff for, like, takeout. Because not everybody eats in the cafeteria. And he'll make a little bow for it, and then you can, like, slide the note or card in through the ribbon. And he'll hand you it. It's like, I entrust you with this. And I wish you luck, Nav.
Nav is gonna, like... I'm kind of going off of how you said it. It sounds somewhat, like, pseudo-serious, like, jokingly serious. And Nav is gonna respond in kind. And he's gonna give the Tulse salute and be like, on my honor. And then he'll take it and...
He'll follow the salute, but much less forcefully, and be like, ah ha ha. And
as Nav is walking out, he's gonna like pivot on his heels and like walking backwards, be like, "Hey, would you be up for giving me cooking lessons sometimes?"
of course, anyone who wants to join us is more than welcome to.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, write in your bonds H, the letter H, or EYCH, which is how we actually spell his name.
H.
Yeah. Well now, does this change your plans? Are you gonna store this somewhere, or are you gonna do the deed, as the court's day is more or less cancelled after such a vicious slappening?
I'm actually going to Runt channeled me in his intelligence check. I'm gonna channel Runt and be like, okay, political spy. I need to I need to listen to the rumors, see if I can pinpoint exactly what happened, or how the tyrant be.
You're gonna mingle and gossip with the court?
Yeah.
I need some kind of charisma check from you, which will describe how you go about doing this.
Do you just want straight charisma?
No, tell me. How are you going about this? Are you trying to... Yeah.
Well... so what is the tyrant's court on... Not position, but, like... Are there servants / like, workers that are around?
They do not have, like, a staff, like a... They have homunculi. These Garden Homunculus is the originator, but they're more or less mannequin people who are constructs made by Ozark.
Okay.
To save on labor.
I guess I'm gonna go around the common areas. I'm gonna imitate a little bit the dude who first told me the news. And so I'm gonna go around some of the common areas and be like, yeah, I heard this was the thing. Like, have you heard about that? Do you know anything about it? Who was there? Like, did it happen in the middle of a meeting?
Okay.
Get a little ground information first.
This can be either deception, performance in a way. Give me just roll me some kind of charisma thing. Are you proficient in anyone?
Yes. Why is this UI
I heard
so
that
fucking
Stacy
small?
had a dirty little secret on Alfred the other day.
Persuasion?
Yeah, sure. Trying to get people to open up and talk to you. Okay. I didn't initially say you had advantage, but guys, the tyrant just got slapped. If there's nothing more fucking like dramatic,
if people are talking, it's right now.
Here's the thing, guys. The tyrant has so many hit points that it is a fucking wonder how his energy shield did not activate. Because he must have taken physical damage if it was this fucking loud. So, like, everyone is like, does Just Meza have a way to, like, surpass or penetrate his shield? Like, everyone is, like, the hunters are talking about it like it's something to analyze so that they can take their shot at him one day. In a, like, I want to surpass the tyrant, he's super cool and awesome, I want to be that guy. Or, it's not nefarious planning, is what I'm trying to get across. But everyone is like, what the fuck happened? And, like, people are trying to get in touch with Jerome. Like, this is how much people want to know. Because Jerome sent Meza and her, like, crew to go to his, like, wacky lair to get her sister back, Honor Meza. And after she immediately just, BAM! Just in his face. So yeah, you score a natural 20 here as people discuss. What are you trying to find out exactly? The main consensus of, like, what people think? or just the rumor mill?
A little bit just the rumor mill, more of maybe a focus of like, if this was held in court, does anybody else know who was there, like who was present?
Oh, yeah. So many people were present, especially like right after. Oh, like, apparently the political team, also known as the failure team now, were literally walking in to have an ordained meeting in the hall at the throne when she barged in and fucking not backhanded, but front-handed him in the face. She ascended the throne. Like, that is how mad she was. A lot of the rumors are about, like, either what did Tyrant do, or what the hell is wrong with Just Meza. Because they had never seen these two interact this way before. And you, during this process, are just through the exploration of their two relationship alone, many people thought that, like, the Tyrant and Meza were, like, going to get married to bind the court of Hyperion to Tolst.
Yeah.
So, they don't know if this is, like, a big fucking, like, is a wedding off? Like, who... What? So, like, all of the people, every single armchair politician is just coming up with crazy shit. Who was there, specifically, other than just the political team, who also spread these rumors? In fact, one of them very well could have easily been that giddy guy. It definitely wasn't Sever. You would have recognized him. Also known as Revik. But, anyone could have been that guy. Maybe it was Antois. Yeah, just this giddy little nobleman from Okapuni. I like that idea a lot, actually. Most of the younger people of the Tyrant's, like, inner circle went with Meza to go get her sister back, including his bodyguard. She has been missing for, like, a week, basically since Jerome got here and, like, gave the information away. She went with Meza, abandoning her duty for, what, like, 11 days?
Yeah. So was she, I mean...
A party of,
I
like,
assume
8
she was
went.
present, but...
And 10 came back, so...
10 came back?
Mm-hmm. Honor Sister had a fellow hostage that was rescued.
Okay. Okay. Then... I don't know how you want to do this, John. I guess my next step would be... I was gonna say, I would like to talk to one of the task force members. One of the failure team who was there. I don't know if you want to, like, roleplay that out, or if I message one of them, or...
Why don't we get Antoine in here? He's in the chat. Timer's in the chat.
Because I don't want to redo cameras, and I don't want to kick people who are currently playing out to fix them. Which would be lame, to say the least.
That would be cringe.
It would be cringe and unbased.
This cringe is technical difficulties.
Narratively, they are busy setting up their next adventure, so they do not have the time to do that. They've actually already finished this day and are on the 3rd of October. So you cannot locate them. They are technically in a time bubble.
Okay. And there wasn't... I couldn't hear about any, like, specific noble or anything.
I'm sorry?
That was around. Is there anybody else, aside from the task members and his own bodyguard, who I might, like, at least, like, be aware of? I don't necessarily have to know them, per se, but, like...
So you don't want his inner circle. I mean, Ozark was there. Jerome was technically there, because...
Yeah. Well, he was my next stop.
Yeah, Jerome, on the way, he was harassing the political team, and, like, on the way to leave, Meza stabbed him in the chest with a magical rapier, and then just sort of left it in him. You know, no one can die in Tolls, so who cares if you impale a demon? Yeah. Not many others. However,
Okay.
Nav, you do know Tyrant's biggest detractor, named Tristan Darter. He is publicly aware and publicly present of, if he had the option, he would kill Tyrant. Like, in a heartbeat. He hates both of them hate each other. And Darter, oh, if you could find him, you undoubtedly will get the juice.
Don't I already know where he is?
Do you?
Because we interacted with him already.
I mean, he's around. All you have to do is, like, seek him out.
Okay. I think first stop is Nav is gonna try and find Jerome.
Everyone is looking for Jerome. I'm gonna need an investigation check as he is hidden.
Okay, he said that's why I didn't, because like anytime we mention him, he's just kind of there. So I didn't know. I didn't think he'd be like right here, right now. But
or once he's in the shadows.
Yeah, I was gonna start Nav was just gonna start walking with us, looking at the ceiling the entire time.
Spider Ozark, have you found him?
Spider Ozark is chasing him. You find them outside at Nav, on top of the Tyrant's Court. A few other keen investigators, and just spectators in general, are watching this debacle as Jerome, instead of flying, is climbing up, like, a tower that seemingly has no, like, way to get into from the inside. But, like, the Spider Ozark, is literally scurrying after him, crawling on all fours. He's like, no! Stop chasing me! Doing a weird King Kong impersonation, I guess.
Okay. Is there any, like, is the Ozark yelling anything?
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, you can fly, right?
Yes, I can. That's literally, I was thinking about casting it and going up there. But, like, if Jerome is, like, trying to break in somewhere, I didn't want to get involved.
He's clearly trying to escape Ozark right
He's
now.
just, okay. Then I think, yeah, Nav is gonna cast Fly on himself.
Yeah. You cast Fly on yourself. Go Superman after losing your footing.
I'm gonna Fly Dash.
You can
until
easily catch up to them.
Catch up with them? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know how fast they were going.
Jerome does not have a climb speed. He flies normally, but he's not flying for some reason.
Nav is going to fly up next to Jerome
Ah!
and be like,
help me!
Yeah, you need some help?
Yes!
Can I stab you in the back later?
Yes!
Alright, good enough for me. And Nav's gonna, like, hold his hands out to take fucking...
Jerome leaps for you, doing this weird, like, cross-legged hug around your entire torso.
Is this the, like, backpacking thing he does to...
Yes, but now he's on your front. So...
back.
Ozark shouts out, "Don't let him get away now! Pile drive him into the ground!"
Nav is gonna go, like, away.
You go away? How far away? Are you
not like I'm not going like out of the city. I mean, like if they were climbing up a big tower and Spider Ozark is climbing, I'm just gonna like be in the middle of like not high like buildings.
You go to the city limits and fucking run off, eloping with your own. You go to the middle of the air. Ozark doesn't want to just start casting magic missiles because you're in Tolst. He can't kill you. He'll figure out something soon. But in that time, you have a little bit of private communication with a demon who's whispering, "No, thank you so much. He was going to eat my beak. I don't even have one."
You doing good, buddy? You
no,
okay?
He's pissed.
I mean, yeah, you piss a lot of people off.
It's all in good fun.
You'd be used to it by now.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, so, hey, what the fuck was in the castle that you sent just Mesa to. Like, you heard about what happened, right? Wait, you were
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
that. There were traps. I mean, some of them were lethal. Not like instant death, but you know.
Well, yeah, you know, sometimes, like, the mental trauma you put people through is worse than lethality. Like, was there anything, like, super fucked up?
I mean, I tarred and feathered her sister, but it wasn't like the painful kind. I just wanted. It was a whole motif. Get it? She was a bird in a cage. I'd kidnapped her. It was up to the. There was a bunch of fucking bird puzzles, okay?
You're so fucking clever. Oh my
I
god.
was!
so
It took me
original.
months to build
You're
that.
a bird. You have bird puzzles. Wow. Well, what did the tyrant do?
What do
when
you
he
mean?
got fucking decked? Well,
when he got.
he got-
Shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, does he did that, like, stupid, like, self-deprecating acceptance thing that he does, or was he surprised?
Just rolled my perception checks retroactively. I'm not gonna lie, I was really busy harassing the political team, but from what I saw, man, they were having a stare down of a lifetime. Yeah, I could feel the energy. Oh.
Like, sexual tension, or like, oh, it's about to go down?
No, it was about to go down, brother. They were about to fight.
Man, that would have been a fight to see.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, I need to get on the ground. My wings are kind of clipped right now. I gotta run while the running's good, man.
Oh, bird in a cage. Wow.
The irony is
Anyway,
lost.
yeah. Is there anywhere like specific? I don't want to be here when Ozark gets here, but I do want to be a pain in his ass.
Bro, you could just drop this motherfucker. Who cares? Like, you could fly like 100 feet into the court, throw him in like a rose bush or something, and watch him crawl out of it. How mean is Nav?
I am working on being a nicer person, John.
Then you can just gently put him down on the ground where he can sprint off.
Or you could violently break his legs.
Or you could just drop his bitch.
I mean-
Yeah, come on.
It is Jerome. I'm gonna get like to where he will be like 10 feet from the ground and then be like, all right, thanks, get off.
You shove
just
him
kinda-
off. He does an acrobatics check, rolling an unironic 18, going to a 30. Does a sick barrel flip, like gymnastic triple fucking just. It's art what he just does to land, and then he just sprints off nonchalantly. With perfect form.
If he's paying attention when he does that bullshit, and has to be like, oh shit, and gets so distracted he almost hits something.
Oh shit.
And has to like veer out of the way.
You dodge out of a hedge statue that a garden homunculus is waving its hand at you. In fury and anger. And we're gonna fast forward a little, if you don't mind.
I was about to say, yeah, to wrap that up, Nav is gonna deliver the thing tonight.
Okay. It will be delivered. And undoubtedly, you will finally run into Runt as you go to dish, relax, head to your quarters. I mean, Mirth and Zane won't be back till tomorrow morning at the earliest. Do you want to seek out Runt? He's been missing for like a day now.
I mean, he's been missing before. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Well, team, it looks like Mirth is engaging someone vocally through the sending spell, but that was lame. I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
Alright, bye, John.
See you later. Runt, you are not in charge. Nav's in charge. You guys will group together eventually. Zane, I don't know if you want to do anything else within Alcazar, but did you get all the closure you needed for your family?
He has all the closure he needs for his family. He'd probably drop by the library, see if Uzazan is there.
No, she's not.
Understandable. And then he'd just say goodbye to his sister and father.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the new family they have made. And
Yeah.
say, If he succeeds in what he's being sent off to do, he'll be back.
Okay.
And also, the night he was spending there, Zane had a good cry.
Oh. I think everyone did. Your sister, your father, even the step brothers and sisters now that you suddenly have. It's a very weird situation walking into a family that outnumbers you in your own family.
Yeah.
But, they say don't be a stranger. Come back whenever you want. And
Whenever I can.
they're gonna be here. Maybe.
And then he just, you ready?
I don't know if Mirth wanted to do anything in Alcazan specifically, but his headphones are fully off now.
Yeah.
We're gonna ignore that for right now. And you
We'll do a
all
time rewind later.
gather together. Likely in the same cafeteria that we initially started the session in.
Yeah.
The snack room
Also-
being violently fought over by the raid team.
Question, John, has it been another full week yet?
No.
Okay, just
Why?
making sure.
Do you need a long rest?
No, I don't need a long rest. Just if a week has passed, I would re-roll my portent die.
Oh, okay.
It's important to him.
Can have
We do those on long rests. I don't know if that's like a weekly activity, but mechanically when you
portent
do...
die is long rest.
Okay. We'll just re-roll them at the start of next session. It's fine.
Okay.
Runt, Nav, Mirth, and Zane. Grouped together once more. Runt, how was your night without Irithil? Do you have like an ice pack on your head, or...
Yeah, he probably would have dropped. I guess he doesn't need painkillers on account of energy shields,
True.
but you know, probably has something, maybe like a bandage across his face. It's like one of those like bandages that has like the little plus on it.
Yeah.
On his cheek. And his hair is all ruffled. It's normally spiky from electricity, but now it just seems back to its normal ruffled state. As he meets up with the group in the cafeteria.
You do just that. H is there, handing out food. But who cares? I mean, everyone's there in the early morning. Now,
Alright.
you say nothing, you just eat. Zane, you look at Runt. Runt is silent or speaking, but not eating.
The hell have you been?
He kind of looks at Zane, tilting his head. You know, I don't know.
Very good response.
Yeah?
Do you need to be caught up on what we've learned so far?
No. I just needed a second. I'm
Ron,
sure
are
we'll
you
have.
okay? You're acting really weird.
He's frazzled,
Huh?
man.
What? Huh?
Yeah, you're acting weird.
What do you mean weird? Define weird. What is weird, Nav?
You're
Oh
rambling
god,
and
you're
you're
going
defensive.
existential.
Na-
The runs
Nav
I
is gonna
barely
crouch
know
down.
never goes.
Nav is gonna crouch down in front of Runt and just like get up in his face and be like, "Tell me, Runt."
He's gonna avoid eye contact, looking to the side, and like, tell you what, huh?
The
Tell you
runs
what?
I barely know
Nav,
would
give me an
never go
insight check.
existential.
I know what the walk of shame is like. Oh shit, maybe I don't.
You do know if the... I mean, you are a fuckboy. That is your character, right? But maybe Runt is just playing it off way too... You know, he's been different ever since he came back from Maelstrom. Maybe there's a storm elemental in his head. And now it, like, left it. Who knows, Nav? Something's off, for sure.
The runtime
Fine,
barely
fine.
know would never go existential.
True.
Well,
That
you
is
haven't
very
met-
true.
Specific reason he said the runtime barely know.
Fine. Keep your secrets, Runt.
All you need to know is that
Music's way too epic.
there is a longing to be judged.
Hey,
And he's just gonna look at Nav like, not sure if the subtle hint is getting across, but he's just gonna kind of like give a weird, awkward shrug as he gives the horrible pun out.
The longing that needs to be judged.
God, I thought you were weird before.
you sure you don't need to be caught up on what we've learned for our next deployment?
I will just.
We can hand wave it. He can watch the VOD. Not like he missed that much.
You can tell me on the wherever we go. On the way there. We'll have plenty of time wherever it is we go. It tends to be a long journey. But how have you guys been handling Jerome existing around us? Now that we've actually had time to just kind of just exist with him alive near us? Has he been much of an issue?
Honestly, I know I can't trust him, but he hasn't been fucking with me, and he causes light chaos, and I kind of like it. He's been staying away from me / us, so I don't I just get to kind of sit back and enjoy. I did help him escape from Ozark, because that means I get to fuck over Ozark. So,
True.
I mean,
Is it just like he was being like trapped or something, or was Ozark torturing Jerome, or what was happening?
I'm not really sure. Jerome had information I kind of wanted, and Spider Ozark they were climbing a tower instead of flying. I don't know what was up with that, but so I flew and saved Jerome.
Information like more stuff on the world pillar or something that we were trying to figure out earlier?
No, just some personal stuff.
Well, alright.
And you're not going to share this?
I mean, he said it's personal stuff. He can share it if he wants.
I don't care
point,
if...
but I also wonder how personal technically is when Jerome is involved.
True. Very true. News breaks this morning. The Greater Chemical has arrived and is setting up shop. This occurred apparently during the evening of yesterday. And this is kind of the rumor that's going through the lunchroom, as well as the whole Tyrant got his fucking face slapped.
Yeah. The slap
which
heard around the world.
It was heard around the world. Everybody has
Word.
heard the word. Heard the word about the world.
Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
True. The Greater Chemical has arrived. Not many people understand what that means. They know the Greater Chemical to be like a potion maker of some sort. I don't know how much the Discovery team has been involved with that.
I think that's all we really know, too.
All we know is that the Greater Chemical was being basically hoarded by the Alventori.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's an exceptionally powerful potion maker, which means much more than healing potions, but like through alchemy. Not just like making potions with spell slots, but actual, like, a scientist, basically.
Sure.
That's the extent of what we know, though.
Many people have professed their curiosity, but no one immediately has the courage to be like, hey, let's go talk to him. Uh, no one's exactly sure where he is or what he's doing. But if this is just a resource that you guys want in the background, much like Meager's mother now, by all means, we can ignore it. No big deal.
I mean, I want to go talk to this guy. This is like, it was like one of our huge grand quest lines, is to go and grab this guy. So, now that he's here...
curious about it, too. I mean, it's not, like, curious in a way like it has to be done right now, but...
Yeah. It's another thing to do of the lack of things we have to do.
Well,
I would like to go talk to Mr. Chemical Man.
Yeah, I mean, that's it right now. You're on the 3rd of October. If Runt wants to go hunt down the Greater Chemical, all I require...
also have, like, 15 minutes, so I'm not sure if, I'm not sure how long it would take to talk to him and what stuff he has.
I'm waiting for any kind of cliffhanger, truly, that we can sort of end on. So if I can say some foreboding shit as the Greater Chemical, I shall. But if you have other things you want to do, such as, hey John, we're going to Alcazan right fucking now to go deal with that dungeon you keep taunting us with. Or, you know.
I might be able to give you a cliffhanger with Nav.
Oh.
Almost sitcom style.
Well, we got 15 minutes.
As Runt kind of is in the group, he says, hey Nav, could I talk to you in, like, private?
Sure. Is this related to the secret that's not a secret that you won't tell me?
Yes.
Cool.
And then he's just gonna walk to the corner of the cafeteria as he starts using a spell.
Ooh. You begin casting your magics.
Yeah, it casts a cantrip. Message.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's like using a radio, but only that one person can hear it.
Yeah, and so he's basically going to use message so that way they can kind of like telepathically speak to each other while still being around everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Surely only Shade in your periphery could hear what you're muttering as he hears it telepathically.
True. And so Runt's just gonna telepathically sound kind of dejected, and he's gonna be like, hey, so what did you talk to Irithil about when you went and visited her?
I mean, I knew she was having a rough time with, her grandfather dying, and I was just like, hey, you know, I like, you know, I've always liked you since, we whipped that run rat dude together, and if, like, I know you're going through a tough time, so if you need help, then, you know, I am here.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good. I saw some disturbing things in her room. There's like a noose that she was trying to hide. It was really weird. I felt kind of bad.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. When I was there, it looked like one of the frat houses I used to go to. So many liquor bottles.
Was not what I was expecting. But also, considering the circumstances, I'm not surprised either.
I mean, she's in grief, yeah.
Yeah. Grief. Funny things happen when you're, when you're not yourself.
Yeah. I mean,
One could say when you've lost all sense of self.
Alcohol does do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
it was the alcohol.
I guess we both helped her in our own way if talking to her made her feel better.
Oh, did you go see her?
Yeah. I showed her I showed her my notes of the adventures that we had along the way. She laughed at them. Which was kind of upsetting, but I mean it's Irithil, what could I really expected?
Yeah.
And then you know, we talked for a while.
Oh, that's a first. I thought y'all didn't like each other.
I mean, I always thought she didn't like me. ever since I almost died and she had to save me and everyone else in the Generation 1 of the Discovery team. So I thought she's always kind of resented me since having to save us since then, but you know, I wouldn't say she's more relaxed, because she's definitely not. But
What's this leading to, Runt?
you know, sometimes you just get to see a more intimate side of someone that you're not expecting.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I never thought I'd ever go in her room, but she was surprisingly mellow, grief aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, what's this what's the secret you wanted to tell me?
He hesitates telepathically, like he just holds like you kind of experience like when you had the armor on and your thoughts were just kind of being projected out to everyone. Now the same thing's happening to you from him.
Now, at this point, you piece it together. There's no way that you don't. He is vague posting.
Oh, you slept with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Was that fun?
Yes.
Front roll 1d20.
Oh,
Alright.
the fucking delivery!
If it's a reroll. That's 11.
That's
Two
2
ones put
ones,
together.
technically. I think your initial response was okay.
You know, not bad for a first time.
Oh, that was your first time? Oh, my precious little ex-virgin. Well, I tell you what, you know, if you want to try it again, I have some spots. Okay. If you want to explore some things, I have some spots. Haven't been to them in a while, obviously, but
I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't think it's gonna happen again unless she seeks me out. But all I will say is, you're not the only person that she's whipped stuff with.
cool. That makes us brothers.
Does it?
In a way.
I feel like. And he just kind of stares at Nav, like.
Ron, is
you're
he
correct.
implying something here? Do you feel a little bit of jealousy? Come on.
No, he's just more of like.
Oh shit.
It's more of like, he knows that Nav whipped Grug, so it's more of like, yeah, but you were whipping with her. It's like you were laughing with her, and she was laughing at me, kind of situation. There's like.
You
there's
guys
a
can
difference
have
with-
your
Brotherly
talk.
bonding.
Yeah. So stupid. I'm so sorry, everyone.
You brought this upon you yourself.
I sure did. It made sense narratively, but the delivery. Huh. In the future, I'll learn more. Well, with that talk going on for some time.
From the bees.
Yes. I think we're going to end it here for today. I much rather would have talked with the Greater Chemical than listen to that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll just save him for next session, and then hopefully get you guys out and about for episode 51 and 52. Yeah.
What to do.
Indeed. If you go into that labyrinth, you're staying there all winter. You will be playing Jumanji. That's what you guys will be playing. Okay.
Cool. Who gets to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I do. Okay.
Damn it.
Every one of you is Kevin Hart.
Yes.
I'll fucking take it.
Never mind. You're Robin Williams.
Yes.
I'll also take it.
Never mind. You're the spider who gets shot.
You're that one bratty kid.
Oh.
There we go. Rest in peace, Rob. We're gonna head out now. Anything you guys want to say or shout out?
No.
Shoutouts to maybe getting a new job that has flexible hours that'll allow me to keep playing D&D if I do get it.
True.
PogChamp.
Very pog.
Oh, I know what I'm shouting out. Shout out to Yugu for not being here.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
For casting invisibility on himself all week, so we couldn't find him.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, at least they get to do the recap next week.
Sorry again for not for having to pick up a phone call and then.
It's okay. You just missed like an hour and a half of awkward adult talk, and not much else.
Yeah.
So I didn't miss a match.
Not a fucking thing.
Not really.
Drama in the tyrant's court. How will this wicked web be unwoven? Tomorrow we have cavemen. They have befriended a griffin? Question mark? Some sort of monstrosity that is now helping them to deliver milk across the entire continent of pre-Klovisa.
Oh. Weird.
Very weird. The Unga Bunga gang. Yeah. The Milkman is in it. And then we have the Saturday team. And directly after Saturday team, we're going to be doing a playtest of the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game rules. Which I am looking very forward to, just to see if I understand them. You know, that's about it. So, gentlemen, have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or night. And as always, just don't fucking die. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, we're out
I
of
will
here.
try my best.
Wow.
I never do.
We're out.